the world. And of course, the crisis we're going through now is unprecedented. It's going to be rough this week. It's a lot going on, and we're going to try to do our best to inform you as much as possible on what to do and some of the things to do and some of the things that we hear. And then, of course, you're welcome to call in this morning on our cell number or our program number. Area code 334-670-0052. 670-0052 is our telephone number. I think it might need to be changed on the screen, but we'll be able to get through to you, no question. Now, I'm wearing the mask, and I'm fixing to take the mask off, but the mask is a reminder that you're supposed to be wearing a mask if you go out into society in Pike County, Alabama. And of course, it's a state rule now, pretty much, that you need to put something over your face so that you can be safe. What should I say? Be safe or be sorrow, one or the other. But I am going to take it off as we speak. But do want to remind you to go ahead and put that mask on anywhere you go today outside. And it must be good because everything you see in China, everybody's got a mask on. Of course, maybe it's a real reason for it, but if they tell you to put a mask on in China, they put a mask on. And I was watching TV this weekend, and you don't see any of these Chinese without a mask on. So that's something that we wanted to touch base with you on. I'm going to take this thing off, but I'm just glad I got one. They're hard to come by, but a lot of people are making them, and a lot of people are making money all over this country. And, of course, I hope everybody is taking all the precautions. It is. I was taking notes last night and didn't even bring my notes with me. But mitigation, what is that word? Look it up in the dictionary or whatever, but they say mitigation, and that means go by the standards that they talk about, those 15 days, and of course these new rules, mostly by governors all over the country, are also adhering to this, where you add the things they tell you to do, of course, is to wear the mask when you're outdoors, and then, of course, to wash your hands every chance you get. My wife claims she washes her hands 100 times a day. I wouldn't doubt it. She washes them a lot. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Good morning.
We're talking about my mask. I came on the air with my mask on, and again, I would think these should be available, these masks, before long. And here we go. And
I don't know. I mean, mask and hand sanitizer are really hard to find. I mean, it's one of those type of things where they're actually trying to ask to make masks if they can make them. Use a scarf or use something, to put something around your mouth. I mean, I went to the grocery store yesterday.
Worst cup of coffee I believe I've ever made, Steve. Come pour it back through, whatever.
You're not supposed to be 6 feet from Steve. So how are you doing?
No, we haven't been close today. We've been way outside of arm's length. I was watching Neil and Wally last night, and they were right on top of each other. Were they if they were 6 feet, they just were 6 feet.
They're like brothers. I think they've been going through the quarantine together.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. But Steve said, and he wanted me to make sure to know they were separate, and as long as they were 6 feet, they were fine. And of course, we don't want you to create a crowd anywhere you go. What is the number for creating a crowd? Do you know, Mike?
It's supposed to be 10 or more people.
Yeah, and of course we don't want. Of course, what you tell these church groups that they can't meet, and some of them do it anyway. You know, like
you got these mega churches that are still,
exactly right.
You got 1,000 people attending church side by side with each other right now. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but some people feel like God's in control when it comes to this. I mean,
well, He's in control of everything we do. There's no question about it.
But in some aspects, the preacher is putting these people at risk, still having these large services. Seems like they try to do the right thing, and if they're going to have anything, have it outside and make it where everybody's separated. But when you do that, you're still going to have people that are going to be together. So I don't know how you do it, especially with Easter coming up. We had Palm Sunday yesterday. It's just strange. We've been trying to watch a little bit of our services online.
That's what they're going to have to do pretty much. And of course, what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is some of these church groups, these big church groups from all over the country. They try to meet regardless, and and actually it's against the law for them to meet. And everybody wants to go and go to their church, but at the same time, the chances are great that somebody's going to leave there or going to be there with the virus, and it's going to spread like it's done all over the place now. So
well, you're going to have a lot of people get arrested, that are holding these huge services. I mean, you already had a few preachers already be arrested for doing this.
It's a shame, but it's
not a time to be doing a publicity stunt.
Yeah, you got to be real responsible, and that's one of the big words out there. And we were talking last night, and I listen and read and watch most all the television programs. You're on CNN, of course, you get one side there, and then on your favorite side, Fox. You get another side there, but some of those Fox folks will drive you. Boy, they all of them are attacking each other. And if I hear another thing about politics, when we've got all these people's lives on hand, there was a program last night on CNN, Mike, that was unreal, where they went in there and went into those operating rooms.
Yeah, that was taped. That was aired live on Thursday night. So that was about.
Well, I tell you what, it was gruesome, and it was something. The sad thing about a lot of that is they talk about ventilators. They say, well, the ventilator is the last resort, and then the percentages even on the ventilator is not so good. So, hopefully. You can stay away from that ventilator. I think once that ventilator, of course, it keeps you breathing, and that's the only way to go. Evidently, when you got a last resort, and hopefully, it's going to, the people that get on the ventilator are people that are going to get off the ventilator. Whatever. Of course. We're not experts. We watch it and listen to it just like you do. So please understand that. Of course,
I get tired of watching it. I watch it, maybe an hour a day or once in a while. I can't be in front of a TV watching it all day.
Boy, I saw the best TV in the world. All these Muhammad Ali fights. Oh man, between Joe Frazier and then Norton. Norton fought Muhammad Ali as well as anybody did, and but it was great. They were great boxing. I like boxing. Like that, and these networks are smart enough to know that a lot of folks are watching them, and they're putting a lot of good stuff on. Of course, those were highlights of some of the great boxing matches of all time. And they showed them in their entirety, which I thought was wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, Ali got beat, I guess, by Frazier one time, and then he got beat, I guess, a couple more times later in his career.
Yeah, Frazier beat him in the, I want to say it was the Thriller in Manila. It might have been, Ali might have won that one. But Norton beat him once and almost beat him twice. And, Ali was something. I watched him.
And, of course, he beat Foreman when Foreman was the champ.
With the rope-a-dope, that rope-a-dope. And you know what? I watched.
He became famous because he beat Sonny Liston, didn't he?
Yeah, that's when he first. He was Cassius Clay when he beat Sonny Liston, and came from Louisville, Kentucky, and he was called the Louisville Lip, was his nickname. And boy, he was a great one. He was one of the great athletes. If you look at him, he was a super athlete, and and was a great defensive boxer. You know, a lot of people say, well, what was it said? Sting. What was his slogan there? Like a.
Sting like a butterfly.
Yeah.
Float like a bee.
Yeah. What was it again?
I think it was sting like a butterfly, float like a bee.
That's right. Sting like a butterfly, float like a bee. That's it.
No, sting like a bee. Oh, well, but what would it? It wouldn't be like sting like a butterfly. It would be float like.
Wait a minute. Well, float like a.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. But did you see any of that this weekend, Steve? That was pretty good stuff. Watching some of those old fights, and of course.
I've been watching so many.
Can I make? Steve, can I make the big announcement? No. Okay. All right now, ladies and gentlemen, and of course this is not fun to talk about, but this is the truth.
Where's Rice at this morning?
I was waiting on Rice. Maybe he expects to be called on the phone, so
I was half asleep this morning. I was watching a couple shows last night and stayed up too late, and I barely woke up in time to get on the air.
I came on with my mask on, and I'm holding my mask up over here on the side so people will remember that that's something they've got to do is get their.
I had a hard time grocery shopping yesterday. I wore a mask for the first time yesterday, and I went shopping, and I was breathing so hard in the mask, I guess, like it would steam up my glasses. So when I was trying to buy groceries, I couldn't hardly see. So then I had to take my glasses off, which they say is a no-no because you're having to almost touch your eyes, and walk around the grocery store half blind, trying to buy groceries because my glasses are fogging up so bad.
Want to mention?
Then they say you can't wear contacts right now because contacts are dangerous to be wearing. They want everybody to wear glasses, so I'm not wearing my contacts.
Oh boy, that's something. You're right. That's a lot of trouble. Want to mention worldwide the cases of the virus is now 1,286,000 cases worldwide. There have been 70,446 deaths worldwide, and this is at least some good news. 271 people have been treated and released. So that's not bad. 271,000 of the 1.286 million worldwide. In the United States, total coronavirus is 336,851. That's right here, up to date. That's the total number of cases. And then death toll now for America, the United States, is 9,620 people have died from this terrible virus. And a lot of people think that more and more people are going to die. This is supposed to be, and it might, and I hate to scare you, but it's all you got to do is turn the TV on, and they'll pretty much tell you that this is fixing to be one of the worst weeks of our lives as far as having this virus being out there and a lot of people dying from it. So this is a terrible, terrible thing that's happening to our world, and we right here in the United States is right in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was telling my wife, I said, how in the world are they going to come up with these death, totals? And
I was wondering that too.
We're at like 2,000, I think we're at like 2,200 at the time. This is like 4 or 5 days ago, and we're at 2,200 just a few days ago, and now we're at 9,620.
Yeah, the last 3 days has been bad.
We're about 1,200 deaths a day right now.
Yeah.
So it is just hard to believe, and it's not just old people and existing health conditions. It's people that are in perfectly fine health. I mean, you got doctors that are passing away from this, and nurses. Yeah. I mean, it's I went to 3 different places yesterday, 2 fast food restaurants and a grocery store, and it's just one of those type of things. You also got to get stuff to live on as well.
Yeah, let me put you on hold here. Good morning, you on today in L.A. How you doing?
Good morning, Mike. This is Bill.
Bill Rice calling in from his home in Troy, Alabama. Let me switch you over so I can get Mike in here too.
Okay.
There we go. Mike and Bill Rice. Is that right? Mike Amos and Bill Rice?
Yeah, man.
Hey, Michael.
And Bill Rice calling in from his residence right here in Troy, Alabama. And, the key to it all, and of course, Bill is on our show very often and does a great job. And of course, Bill is the son of the legendary Bill Rice Sr., who played on Coach Paul Bryant's first national championship team. He was born and raised, you started off in Opelika, but you spent most of your life right here in Troy. Is that right?
That's right. That's right, Mike.
And who was your granddaddy? Hickey Chapman?
Yeah, on my mom's side, Hickey Chapman, owned Chapman Oil, the Gulf Oil distributorship, was one grandfather, and then Bob Rice, who worked for the highway department, was a civil engineer, was another grandfather, and then my grandmother on that side was Lucy Rice, who worked for Mary Chevrolet.
That's right, for a long time, worked for Sis Mary. Is that right? His name was Sis Mary.
I loved, I remember coming and seeing my grandparents all the time from Opelika and going to Mary Chevrolet and working on their float in the TSU Appreciation Day Parade.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. Of course, Judson Colley ran that. Evidently you were close to Bill, to Judd and Steve and all them too, weren't you?
Yep. My grandmother was lucky. Well, all my family's been lucky. Grandmother was lucky to work at Mary Chevrolet so long, and then my grandfather to work so long for the highway department. That's a good job. And then Hickey to have an oil business that did well.
He was a Guff distributor for a long time, and my uncle Shorty Renfro.
Yeah.
Had the Guff station on the corner of Highway 29 and 231 before the bypass, and of course he had it after the bypass too. But he had a great service station there.
Yeah. I never knew that was your uncle, Mike.
That was my uncle. That was my uncle, Papa Shorty Renfro, and of course his wife was my aunt Emma Lou Renfro. And Emmylou Renfro and Revel Amos, Revill, they were twins. Emmylou and Revel, and they were twins. And of course, they had Aunt Emmylou and Quentin had one son. His name was Jerry Renfro. You remember Jerry Renfro?
Yeah.
And of course, that was he's my first cousin, lives in Montgomery. But
Renfro's Gulf was a famous gas station. When I was growing up, the famous Gulf station was Lunsford's Gulf.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Lunsford worked for Uncle Quentin for a long time, and Uncle Quentin eventually sold out to Mr. Lunsford. Mr. Lunsford was a very nice man. But let me just say this: when you were back in those days, they came out and they serviced your vehicle. My Uncle Shorty was a little short guy, but he moved around fast as lightning and pumping gas. And, of course, one of the people that worked for him was a guy named Jabbo. You know who Jabbo was, don't you?
Jabbo Barron?
Yes, sir. He worked for Uncle Quentin for years and worked for your granddaddy for years. And Jabbo Barron was one of the guys that worked for the Gulf station. And another one was Faulkner. Albert Faulkner worked for him. And there were several people that worked for him. I know my daddy bought gas from him every day. Every day.
And you're right. They did everything.
My daddy filled his truck up every day, 364 days a year.
You know, it's hard to find a full-service gas station anywhere in America these days.
No question. And let me tell you what else, too. You know, they did tire work, and they changed your oil and did all those things. But You could buy fish bait. They had wigglers. You go up to them and say, "I need a box of wigglers." He goes out and he's got a big bed of wigglers sitting right there on his lot there, and he digs it up and he digs you a mess of wigglers, and they put a top on it. You on your way fishing.
Is that how Jabbo got into the business he later got into?
That's exactly. Jabbo is the inventor of the honeyworm, and if his grandson is watching right now, his grandson, one of the great people in this community. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he went to school with me.
And of course, he's a county rep, and does a wonderful job. Really does.
Well, you've given me history
Jimmy
I didn't
Barron.
know. And then I knew everybody there liked to fish because Mr. Lunsford later got a trailer up at Collie Pond in Union Springs, and a lot of Troy people, well, it's all Troy people up there that fish up there all the time.
And I'm going to tell you, it's one of the great places to fish of all time. No question about it. I got to bring somebody back in here. Let's see who it is. I'm going to put you on hold. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A. How you doing? Hello? Hello?
Matt,
Yeah, hey, Mayor, how you doing?
man, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing great, and it's good to hear from you, my friend. How's everything up in what we call East Georgia? How's everything in what's the name of that little town now?
Scribbin.
Scribbin. All right, I'm gonna try to do something that is sort of hard to do, but I'm gonna try to put you on hold. If I lose you, I'm gonna bring you right back now. All right, let's see what we can do. If we can do this, it'd be wonderful. All right, we got one of you on. Is that right?
Yeah, sorry.
All right, here we go. I've got two of you on, and let's see if we got three here. All right, we got you on now. Is that right?
Bill's on, checking in.
All right, Mike, you on? All right, let me get the mayor of Scribbin, Georgia. Oh shoot, I missed it. Hit the wrong button here. All right, there we got two of you. Got you.
You got Bill Rice here.
All right, who else? Mayor, we got you.
You got me.
All right, I'm gonna try to bring the mayor on, and if I can't, we can't.
Well, I can check
No,
off.
it's all right. Hold on. No, here we go. Well, I've got two of you on, and one more. Let's see. Let's try it one more time. It's hard to get three on here at one time.
I can.
But I want you to come right back if I bring you off. All right, I got you on right now. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mayor, how things been going?
Man, they're just going. How are you guys doing?
Been real good. Of course, tell them where you're located.
Southeast Georgia, about 30 miles inland from Jekyll and St. Simon's Island.
Yeah, I lost my good friend John Stevens last week, and I was reading his obituary, and all those guys, a bunch of his folks are right over there at you.
Yes, sir. They're right here with me.
What's the name of that? Jessup, Georgia. Is that where they're from?
Jessup, Georgia. Yeah, he was in Blackshear, I think, in Pierce County, which is right next door.
He was a legend, I tell you. He was definitely a legend. Let me bring this conference in here. We got both of y'all on now?
Yes, sir.
Who else we got on?
Yeah, man.
All right, we'll bring Rice in here in a few minutes. And Mayor, is this thing hitting Georgia just like it's hitting us? Your little community, how many cases do y'all have over there?
Well, we've been blessed. Statewide, we got 6,742 cases as of 7 o'clock last night, and 219 deaths. But our county made it down, into the final 11 counties without a case until 7 o'clock last night, and we just got our first case. So,
do you know who the person was, or do you know anything like that?
we don't have any details, no, sir.
But now, the Atlanta area, and of course, that's what would you say, 5-6 million people in that area. That's where most of them are coming from. Is that right?
Well, yeah, it is. But if you do it per capita, the most dangerous hotspot in the state is actually Albany. they've had more deaths than Albany and Dougherty County.
Well, you know what happened over there, don't you?
I do.
Tell us what happened. And ladies and gentlemen, well, you know, the reason I brought this mask, I wore a mask on the set, and I've got it, and I'm going to wear it all day today as long as I'm outside or whatever. But tell us what happened in Albany that, and it could happen here or any other place. So we just got to be careful.
It very well could. What happened was they had there was someone that was positive, and they attended a funeral service and then a fish fry afterwards, and infected the whole congregation, because what they're telling us from the CDC is this stuff can sit hanging in the air for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And you just walk through it. You might not even be there.
That's right. That's right.
Your eye sockets, your nose sockets, your mouth, anywhere.
And that's why if you had been wearing something over your face, you might not have had that problem. If they were, if everybody was wearing a mask, I really believe in this mask. Do you own a mask?
I do.
Do you wear it?
I do. N95, yes, sir.
That's right. You got to be a good example.
You got an N95. That's what they're wearing in the hospitals. You got the nicest mask they offer.
How'd you do that, Mayor? How'd you do it?
Well, and my mom was a nurse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm essential, Mike. Hey.
His name is Jason Weaver, ladies and gentlemen, and he's the mayor of Scripton, Georgia.
That's what's so strange about this. I mean, they initially said the mask did nothing, and you didn't have to wear a mask, and now they've come out and said that, it's in the air, you can get it from people talking to you. I mean, it's just like one of those things, why did they just tell people just to wear masks the whole time?
Yeah, I know.
Later and tell everybody to wear a mask. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, let me ask you this. How many times have you met people and you start talking to them? I might be bad too, and he starts, moisture starts coming out of his mouth when he talks. Have you ever talked to anybody like that?
Absolutely.
That's exactly the reason you wear a mask right there. Because if that gets into your mouth or your nose or whatever, it can be rough.
Trump says that he never likes to shake hands anyway. Like, that's been one of his big things his whole life. Because he knows how many germs are on hands. And he thinks after this is all said and done, you won't see a handshake anymore. I
was fixing to say that, Mike. I think that this will change the world. I think people will be washing their hands better when this is over. They'll be protecting themselves. The days of the Southern Baptist handshake, that's over.
Yeah, that's right. You do it with your elbow now, whatever. Or you don't do it, period. And other day I got in an elevator where a guy was walking his dog, and we opened the elevator, and the little dog ran in my elevator. Well, here it is. This man, I don't want him in the elevator because I just don't need the air he breathes. And doggone, the little dog came shooting in there, so he comes running in my elevator. And whether I liked it or not, I had to go 6 floors with him in the elevator with me.
Oh my goodness! You should have got off the elevator.
Well, I couldn't. I was in control of the elevator. And
there's nobody even down at y'all's condos right now.
All right. Well, Mike, this happened a few days ago.
There's no cars down there. There's nobody in Panama City Beach right now.
Well, this happened a few weeks ago. But what I want to tell you. And so I'm walking to my condo, and I open the door, and the little dog comes running again in there,
Oh, my God.
So, and your mama had a fit.
Yeah, I bet. She got a ride.
But I told that guy, I said, go on, and I don't want to see you again. That's what I told him.
You got to protect yourself, Mr. Mike.
You're right.
That's a high-risk case.
Mayor, that's something that so far we've been lucky about. All right, now you're the mayor of a small town in Georgia. What do you tell your constituents? Tell us what your rule is.
Well, right now I've shut down. My employees have been home this will be the 3rd week now, and they'll be home until the end of April.
Now that's not all of them. I mean, some of them have to work though, don't they?
Well, I've got one guy, my lead guy, that comes in Monday through Friday from about 8 to 12, just getting the water samples, the stuff we have to do mandated by the law, and just a few things. But my office staff, I've sent it their home. You know, we're social distancing. My restaurants is not. I mean, like everybody else, is no dine in, takeout only. Our Family Dollar is 10 people at a time inside, 6 foot apart.
Yeah.
So,
And so when you go to the store, hey, when you go to the store, is that you go to Family Dollar? Is that right?
That's right. That's little Walmart for us.
I know we have one here in Troy. Yeah. Of course, we're talking to Mayor Jason
y'all have
Weaver.
a general like every other town in the southeast does anymore.
No, we didn't get lucky enough to get the Dollar General Family Dollar War. We only got the Family Dollar.
But I tell you what, that Dollar General is quite a store, no question about it. I wish I had bought stock in it a long time ago. Of course, now your police people, they're still on duty. Is that right?
Yeah, my main guy is the police chief, so that's when he's here. He's here 4 hours, and they're able to come. You know, they all live right here in the city, so at any moment, you know, they can be on scene of anything. And
let me ask you something, Mayor. You and I got to know each other back when Troy played in Missouri, and we met each other also before at a Troy game. And you know, I've just really enjoyed being around you. And of course, he's comes over to see his daughter, who's a majorette here at Troy, and boy, they just shut them down now. Did she come right away, or what did she do?
no, she stayed until Ruby Tuesdays went to takeout only. The day that they did that, she came home the next day, and at that time we didn't know it would be for good, so she just grabbed a suitcase and come home, stayed here a week, and then the day before that they made their announcement. They were making their announcement the 31st. I had a little bit of insight on kind of what was going to happen, so I told her to take off and get up there and get that dorm cleaned out. So she was able to get it cleaned out before, you know, Governor Ivey put the lockdown on, which is good for us.
That's right. Let me tell you something. Tell her, since she's been gone, a good friend of mine named Animal Mike is the new manager at Ruby Tuesdays. Ronnie.
He's a great guy.
Do you know Ronnie, Mayor? Do you know him, the new manager there?
I do not.
His name, Ronnie, we nicknamed him Animal, and he's the guy that years ago, he's well known in the food.
He used to be a trainer for the Troy.
Yeah, he used to be the trainer for the Troy football team, and you know, he gets a kick out of this as much as I do. The first weekend that he ever worked for Troy, he was actually a Jacksonville State graduate, but he
was the football equipment guy.
He was named the football equipment manager at Troy, and his nickname, he's real tall and skinny, and everybody started calling him Animal because he's so big and strong, you know, whatever. Well, he went to Greenville. Nobody told him what to do. Coming from Troy to Greenville, you take a right on the bypass and you get on the interstate 65 and you're gone. Well, nobody told Animal, and all you folks watching today that knows what I'm fixing to say are laughing your head off and you're falling out of your chairs, because Animal, he was in a brand new truck, brand new body and everything. It's one of those rental trucks, and it's brand new. So he goes through downtown Greenville, and he didn't know that there was a bridge up ahead, and he drove underneath that bridge, and it stripped that new truck and the trailer. It stripped it like a can of sardines. And bless his heart, he hadn't been working with Troy a week. He had to call the athletic director and said, "Coach Williams, this is Ronnie. Listen, we've got a little problem here. I just wrecked the truck." And bless his heart, he didn't know that.
They went under the little railroad track that has the little tunnel in it.
Yeah, they go underneath it. Yeah, underneath the railroad track bridge, and you know, everybody from around here would know that, but not Ronnie. I reckon it's Ronnie. What's the animal's first name? But he You tell your.
I'll be honest, everybody always just calls him Animal. I can't even remember his first name.
Well, I tell you what, he is a great guy, and tell your daughter that when she comes back to Troy, that she'll, if she wants to work with, he's a great guy.
He managed Country's Barbecue for a long time.
Yeah, and he's also managed my roast beef place, Mike, too, and.
Arby's.
Yeah, Arby's got good stuff, good chicken sandwiches.
She wants to be back there. I can tell you, I mean, we're looking for housing apartments right now for her.
Are you really? Well, I might can help you. You know,
I tell you what, if you would go out throughout the Southeast and have every single one of these football coaches on the air every day and tell them how important it is for people to stay home, I guarantee you, everybody would stay home because they want to have a football season.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
What have you heard about football, Jason?
I heard that they had a meeting, that Trump had a meeting with NFL, Major League Baseball, and they said that NCAA wasn't a part of that meeting, but the word we got was Major League Baseball is tentatively wanting to start up after what would have been the normal All-Star break, so I guess July.
Yeah.
And supposedly the president told NFL to be ready to go for the first game of the season.
Well, I tell you what, it's nothing that we sure can't judge what this virus is going to do, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't think crowds will be able to go to games, but as long as they can play, that's all that matters to me. You got television, you can watch it from home. It still would be better than nothing.
If the virus is out there, I don't see how in the world you could have any kind of stadium or anything like that. But now I have heard this.
I think you'd be good to go by September.
I have heard this, and this is all hearsay, is that the NCAA might start college football after January 1st.
No, see, I'm hearing earlier.
Well, that wouldn't bother me at all. And then they would push basketball back some. It wouldn't bother me at all to see college football in January. It's supposed to be a cold weather sport, you know?
That's right.
Well, that's right. The virus will be coming back, though, is in January.
Yeah. Eventually, if they'll do that, I've been arguing down here for years that we play baseball and football in the wrong seasons.
Yeah, you're right.
Because we need to be playing baseball when it's hot, and we usually play in baseball when you can't even hold a bat, it's so cold.
Well, I tell you, it's really unusual. And, Mayor, there's still 400 kids on campus here. Most of them are international kids, and they can't go home because they can't fly across the country. And they're living here still, and I hope they can keep them under control as far as, you know.
So what do they do? They have to leave the cafeteria open for them?
Well, I don't know, but I saw some of them playing soccer the other night. I don't know, but they might not be students.
Email, Mike, that said the cafeteria was going to be open, and one of those places down in the, I know the kids all have the correct name for it, but you know where those restaurants are down under the by the bookstore.
Yeah.
What is that down in that bottom down
It's
there?
called the Adams Center.
Yeah, Adams Center. Yeah.
There was one or two of those that were going to rotate and open so they could eat.
Yeah. Most of them will be moved into Pace Hall in Shackelford, so that's where that will close effective April 6th.
I don't know how
They're not moving them.
What?
They're not moving them. We got an email after your governor gave that shelter in place that said, forget about moving, just stay in the dorm you're in right now.
Okay, all right. And,
how could you go to any kind of restaurant that would be a buffet? It seemed like that wouldn't be allowed for their students. Like they could only pick up. They wouldn't be able to go inside and make a plate.
I have no idea, but they are here on campus, and they are.
Must be a pickup window.
It probably is.
And it could go all the way into through July. You know, I don't know exactly the plan here, but that's what I need to do. But
I tell you what, I was a horrible student in college. I wonder if I could have passed online classes.
yeah, probably couldn't, and they would give you the answers.
I probably would have had some guy fail me for an online class.
Yeah, you couldn't pass it even if they gave you the answers.
Hey, how is this impacting Troy, Mike?
Well, right now, and let me just see. I've got some figures here, Mayor, and so it's well, the figures I have though are national figures, but Troy right now, as of yesterday, had 12 cases. You know, they don't give you the information on it or anything, but 12 cases. Looking at Georgia, as of yesterday, they had 6,742, and you gave me that information just a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe Georgia compared to Florida is doing wonderful. I mean, Florida, where I live, of course, I'm in the Panhandle in Grayton, but I mean, there's over like I think 12,500 cases.
Yeah, I know it.
But majority of the cases are in South Florida.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I got back up here. I stayed down there 2 weeks, and
no, it's not in this area, Dad. I mean, where you were in Bay County's only got 7 cases overall.
yeah, well,
The numbers there.
that is pretty good, no question about it. I was looking for Florida here.
I really thought that once spring break ended, because you know spring break ran into Daytona's bike week too, and all those. I said, "Oh Lord, this ain't gonna be good."
Yeah.
And it, you know, and maybe it hadn't been. Maybe some's taking it back to their communities. I don't know, but the impact that I thought I'd see, like the Daytona area, and isn't as bad as what I thought.
Well, the problem is, you know, some people are asymptomatic, where they show, you know, basically no signs of the virus whatsoever, and that's the problem. These people don't realize they have it, and that's how, you know, they're going around and passing it to other people.
Yep.
Yeah. Of course, the state of Alabama.
I've almost got 1,812 cases altogether.
1,812. How many deaths do they have already? 30
I have to
something.
look and see.
I want to say it was 30 something. I want to say. I could be wrong though.
I mean, I figured Georgia, though, would be a lot higher, though. I think those numbers in Georgia, they got to be pretty happy with right now.
We are
What is that? 200 something deaths.
219 in Georgia.
That's right. 6,742 cases.
And you know,
219.
they break this thing down to let you know, was there underlying health issues on each death? And you know, in Georgia, there's only like 4 that was no.
Yeah.
Every other one is a yes.
West Virginia is amazing. They have only 3 deaths. They've got 324.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if anybody's getting tested in West Virginia, though.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was just looking at some
Can
of
we get
those.
Neil Brown to come on the show and talk about it?
I don't know about that, but I'm sure he's concerned about it just like everybody else is. And, ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Scriven, Georgia. Scriven, Georgia is located over there near Brunswick and Savannah. And I was telling them I lost a good friend of mine last week, John Stevens, who was from Savannah originally. But he, did you remember? Did you see some of those? There comes a good cup of coffee right here. Let's have another cup of coffee. Let's have a cup of Nescafe.
Is that coffee coming
Hill
in?
and Brooks. Hill and Brooks. If it don't say Steve Camp, believe you me, you don't want it. I made the first coffee and it was so strong I couldn't drink it this morning. Hope everybody's having a good time. Mayor, of course.
This is a big day for you, Dad. This 44 years ago, your twins were born.
That young man that just spoke those words has a birthday today, along with his sister Camille. Michael and Camille Amos were born on April the 6th. What was it? 70 what?
April 6th, 76.
76. And you can do the math. I will tell you something. It was a little unusual.
Can you believe that you have a 44-year-old son now?
Yeah, Mayor, I want to tell you what this poor old South Alabama country boy had to face when these kids were born. You know, when my daughter was born, 4 years ahead, Rebecca, who lives in Birmingham, I bet there was 40 or 50 people in the waiting room with me, waiting to see the baby and whatever, waiting for the birth of my first child. Well, 4 years later, on a rainy day, my wife, we used Montgomery doctors from the main hospital there in Montgomery, and Baptist Hospital. And so it was a rainy day, and I took my wife up there, and they put her in the hospital and so forth. And And it was that morning, and so I waited around pretty much all afternoon and into the night. It was around 7 o'clock at night, I want to say. I was sitting in the waiting room waiting for the baby to be born. Back then, it wasn't such a big thing to go in and watch the delivery. And thank goodness I didn't. I would have probably had a heart attack. But I'll tell you, the story is true as it can be. I'm sitting there by myself, and it's a rainy day, and I said, I've been bored and stiff, and finally a nurse comes out, and she's pushing a cradle, some type of buggy, and she said, Mr. Amos, I got something I want to show you, and let me finish this story here. I said, I got up, went up and looked down, and I said, golly. I backed up, and I was saying to myself, I wonder which one of those was mine. There were two babies, and I looked in there and said to myself, I wonder which one of those is mine, so I backed up. And she said, Mr. Amos, you need to look again. And there it was, Michael and Camille Amos, little babies in a cradle. My daughter had a boy and girl twin. And
Your wife had a boy and girl twin.
well, what did I say? My wife had a boy and girl twin.
Let's just say that back in '76 they had no clue that my mom was having twins.
That's right, had no clue. So
Wow.
after the first child was born, Michael was born first. This is just what they say now. Hey, now just think of how bad this would be if I'd been in there watching all this, watching this childbirth. Just think of your predicament in this situation. Well, they bring Michael out, and I have a son, and I have a son. So about, what was it, 8 minutes later, or how many minutes?
I'm 11 minutes older.
11 minutes later, there was a little hand that stuck out, evidently. I hate to be so gruesome about it, but it's the truth. And they did not know that there was a little girl supposed to come on out, and they wouldn't let her come. They wouldn't let her come. That's why she's so mean today. They wouldn't let her come, wouldn't let her come. So finally, they delivered a little girl. Now listen to this now. Mike Amos was 6 pounds, 10 ounces. Little boy, 6 pounds, 10 ounces. And little girl, 5 pounds, 11 ounces. There were 13 pounds of babies here. And the Baptist Hospital in Montgomery, and one of their great doctors, didn't know it was going to be twins. So how in the world can you see a lady fix to have a baby or babies, 13 pounds of babies, and they didn't know they thought it was just one. So that's what happened. It was a true thing that happened, and those babies were very healthy and so forth. But thank goodness now they can look and see how many babies there are, and whether a boy or girl or whatever. But back then, you just sort of had to guess.
That's right.
And, so that's the way it was. And but it tickled me, and of course, this is their 44th birthday today, Mike, is that right?
That's right, it's hard to believe.
All right, well, listen, let me put you on hold, and Mayor, we're going to let you go. We appreciate it very much. And call us again soon here.
All righty.
And God bless y'all.
Bless y'all. Stay safe.
Bye-bye, no question. Good morning, today in L.A., how you doing?
Well, I'm glad to know the virus hasn't got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of, not the mayor of Ozark, Alabama, but their judge, ladies and gentlemen, Will Matthews, the local attorney from Ozark, is on the line. Now, let me put you on hold a second here,
right.
Will, and we'll bring you on here. And one more right here. There we go. Who we got now? We got Mike and Will, or who we got?
You got me.
All right, here we go. Well, I say here we go. There we go. All right, got both of you now. We're supposed to have both of you. Is that right? Oh, man. This thing's acting up a little bit. All right, now we got both of you. Hello.
Yep, you got me.
How about Will?
Will Matthews.
Okay, we got Will, too, so we're in good shape.
The great Will Matthews. Will, what have you been doing on all this, all your downtime here?
day 21 at home, and I'm starting a book today.
Oh boy, what is it going to be called? The Will Matthews story or what?
Well, it's going to be 52 years at the Masters. And Dr. Bob Jones is going to do the preface. And I've got a writer in Atlanta that's going to do it. That Bob lined up. And basically what I'm going to do is dictate stories from 52 years to him, and he's going to make a book out of it.
Boy, oh boy.
Can you really remember all 52 years?
I can just about tell you every winter for 52 years, but a lot of the stuff I'm going to put in there is just stories, of things that I saw when I went over there. I'll tell you the funniest one I ever saw was Bernard Langer was there for the first time for Germany. And he was on number 2, and it was on Wednesday, and they were practicing, and Bernard Langer putted it off the green on number 2, and Lee Trevino was standing on the tee on number 3. And back in the old days, number 3 tee was within 20 feet of number 2 green. They've since moved the tee way back now, made it a longer hole. Anyway, he hollered over there and said, "Hey, Bernhard, they're going to cut greens for the
Hey,
tournament."
stay on. Go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
He said, Bernhard Langer put it off the green, and Trevino hollered over there and said, "Hey, Bernhard, they're going to cut greens for the tournament."
Bill Rice is on the other line. Bill, are you on? Bill Rice?
You got me on the other line. You can't do a three-way call, Dad.
All right, well, I was using my cell phone, Mike.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Bill, are you on? Bill Rice. Here we go. We're trying to get Bill Rice on it. Bill, are you on the...
I'm on the cell phone.
Yeah, you're on, and I'm on my cell phone, but we're on the speakerphone so we can hear you. Bill Rice calling in from Troy, Will Matthews from Ozark. Will, are you still operating or are you still at home?
Our office has been open the whole time. My secretary's there, and my daughter's there, but I'm at home in Dothan.
Will, give us your feeling about what's happening.
Oh, it's fixing to get really bad. We've got close to 30 people in the hospital in Dothan, probably at Southeast, and another 10 or 15 at Flowers, and we've had five die already in Dothan, and a lot of them are in really bad shape.
I noticed that statewide we have 1,841. This is from the information we got yesterday. Well, actually, the statewide in Alabama, and 45 deaths. So that's the way it looks.
You stay at home, Will, or do you get out and pick up from restaurants?
At home. Yeah, I stay at home, but I have been playing golf. Now, they're letting us play golf, but it's really weird how you got to do it. Everybody's got their own cart.
Yeah, one person in the cart. Yeah.
That's right, and there are no rakes in the sand traps.
Yeah.
You don't touch the pin. They've got the holes inverted where the ball will go in the hole, but it won't go down at the bottom.
All right, so they don't even have the pin then. They don't even have a pin then. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, the pin is in there, yeah.
Okay.
But you don't take the pin out, and the cup's upside down, so your ball will roll in the hole, and it'll be like halfway in the hole, halfway out, but it's in the hole. So.
Exactly right. Let's bring in Bill Rice, Jr. Bill, are you here? Can you hear everything?
Yeah, I was enjoying the mayor from Georgia.
Yeah, of course, he loves Troy now. I tell you what, he really loves Troy. So right now we got Bill Rice calling in from his beautiful home over there on, what is that little street there in Troy?
That is North Hillcrest Boulevard.
North Hillcrest Boulevard. He's rich. He lives over in Hillcrest. You must be rich. Of course, Will Matthews.
I live around some rich people, let's say that.
Will, of course, your offices are closed right now, or what?
No, we've been open the whole time.
Okay, I'm sorry. And of course, a lot happening in Ozark, and of course, y'all are just like we are. How about Ozark? Have they had any fatalities yet?
No, we've only got one case in Ozark.
Yeah. Well, that is a good place to be then, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there are no cases in Geneva.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's unusual.
The only county in the state that does not have a case.
Yeah. All right, now let me make an announcement, ladies and gentlemen. A good friend of mine died over the weekend. Bill Sanford. That ring a bell to you, Will Matthews? Bill Sanford?
Well, I know Denny real well.
All right, that was Denny's dad. Denny's dad. I want to say he was 94 years old. Bill Sanford died, and of course, was a great man. I knew him all my life. He was the first recreation director in Troy. I think I'm correct.
Next to us.
That's right. The place at the beach was right next to you.
Yeah, they bought it from us.
Yeah, it's the old Crow's Nest. And of course, you knew him well then, didn't you, Will?
Oh yeah. Well, Denny's got a place in Sunnyside.
Yeah, that's right. Very near where the Creases have the other one, the old Crow's Nest. But now thing about Bill Sanford, Will, he was a very good golfer. Did y'all ever play golf?
Now I play with Denny.
Yeah, Denny, of course, was a very good golfer. Of course,
He wrote a couple books, didn't he?
yeah, he sure did. One of them about Chase Riddle, and I've got that book, and I'm gonna start giving it away on my show. That was a very good book he wrote, and Bill Sanford played football here back in the 40s, late 40s, early 50s, but late 40s pretty much. He came here from Hueytown, Alabama, out of high school. He was an outstanding high school player, and he came here and was a quarterback on the Red Wave team back in, I want to say the late 40s, 49 or 50, somewhere like that. And he also was president of the student body. And Bill Sanford met this beautiful, beautiful lady, and married her, and of course had those children, and Cornelia Sanford, and she was Cornelia Crease, and was actually a neighbor of Steve Kemp. Isn't that right, Steve? Of course, our hearts and prayers are with the Sanford and Crease family, and great people. And Denny, of course, owns the insurance company here and has had it for years, and Sandbuck Insurance. And Denny and Bill before then had his insurance company, the F&M Insurance Company, which was the F&M Bank, the old Henderson Bank there, for years. And of course, he was a young man, and after he graduated from college, went to work with them. And of course, he was a coach for a long time, and I used to call him Coach Sanford. And let me tell you what he did very well, y'all. He was one of the best fast-pitch softball pitchers in the state of Alabama or the Southeast. People used to pay him to come play for their team, pitch for their team, when they played in tournaments and so forth. And he was just a very good athlete, very good guy, and lived in Troy for all those years. And like I said, he was an insurance guy. He flew his own plane, Will, and he did a lot of insurance work with a lot of road builders and people like that, and did a lot of that type work. And he would just fly down to the job site like I-65. He would just fly down there on that job site, get out of his plane and go talk to a few of or go sign up a few of the workers there, and get in his plane and fly back out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in Troy that are pilots.
That's
a
right.
lot of good golfers, and then there's a lot of people, more than most towns, that are pilots and have airplanes.
Well, Tom Murphy flew a plane a long time, and Tom, was also built bridges, and he would fly to the job sites too sometime. And of course, he was well known too. Very good athlete, Tom Murphy. Will, do you feel like that this curve that we're thinking about, that they are talking about, of course, this week it's going to be awfully, awfully tough, is exactly what everybody says it's going to be. It's going to be the worst week maybe this country's ever seen. But then they feel like they're guessing and hoping that it's going to curve off. And I don't know if it's going to go away, but it's going to curve off and give us a break. And hopefully that's what's going to happen. But we've got a lot to go through, and it's so important. Will, do you have a mask?
So I have several masks.
All right, you better wear it. Now around here, they want you to wear your mask, and same way with Bill Rice. Do you have a mask, Bill?
Not yet. You know, but we're not seeing anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm putting mine on just to let everybody see it, and I've got a pretty good mask, and my wife's taking real good care of me. But I just want to show you, you need to be putting one of these on. Now, Will, are you wearing yours or what?
Anytime I go out, I wear it. Now, I haven't been out, much.
How are you going to wear it playing golf?
You don't wear it playing golf.
Well, evidently, you're not adhering. If you're playing golf, how many guys are playing at the same time?
Oh, we had a pretty good crowd, but they spread out the tee times, and you don't get within 6 feet of anybody.
Yeah, exactly. You know, let me tell you one thing, and I can't understand it. If you'll notice, ladies and gentlemen, my hair has grown like you wouldn't believe. I haven't had a haircut in almost 4 months now.
Yeah, me too, Mike.
Hey, I mean, well, what I'm saying, hey, they shut down the barber shops. They shut down the beauty parlors. My wife is going to eventually have to cut my hair, and I dread it. She already does my nails, but then she's going to cut my hair, and I dread it.
Yeah, that's coming.
Hey, and then when she's doing my nails, I said, you're killing me.
Well, I shaved my beard off when this started.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I've got a little beard growing myself.
The beards have a lot of germs in them, that's what they say.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet, Bill Jackson Ford, and of course Bill Jackson and Jim, of course, a very good friend of mine, owns the Chevrolet dealership and the Ford dealership right here in Troy, and we appreciate them. Roadmark, one of the great places that have your tires worked on and so forth. Some of these places are open and some not. Jean's Flowers has been a great sponsor of ours for a long time, Martha Lynn and all the folks there. And hey, everybody's supposed to be at home and in a secure place as far as getting away from all this, these people. The key is to get away from people. Now, let me ask you something, Will. This word mitigation. They keep saying that. What is mitigation? What is that?
Basically, it means if people will stay away from other people, the virus will die. It won't have anywhere to go.
That's right. Well,
I was watching a couple of interviews with Fauci. He's 79 years old. He's the doctor you see on television all the time and the expert. And he came out 2 different interviews. One January 21st and one January 26th, where he basically came out on national TV and said that the United States would not be affected by this virus.
yeah, he said that.
It's just hard for me to believe that he would come out and say that on the 21st of January and the 26th in 2 different interviews, and now look what has happened. I mean, how can you miss it that bad? Just no information from China?
Well, and everybody blames the president too, and so forth. And how in the world did anybody could they see this coming? I don't believe anybody could. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, he's getting blamed for it.
Yeah.
Trump is.
But let me ask you now, Will, and I know you're a Trump guy, and I like Trump too. Don't get me wrong, and I think a lot of people like Trump. But gosh, why don't he keep his mouth shut sometimes? Why does he attack these people when they disagree with him?
Because they attack him. I don't blame him.
Well, I mean, he's upset, but really, why don't he just say, hey, that guy just put his foot in his mouth, so why don't I just, be quiet about it, whatever. But he's listen, there's no president, in my opinion, that could have done a better job and more hands-on. He's got to be the most hands-on president that this country had ever seen. Can you see anybody else taking control like he's done?
They're working around the clock to do what they can, but this is going to be bad. But I will tell you, this is a fact. I can verify this happened because it was my first cousin in Dallas, Texas. I've got a first cousin. My Uncle Joe was a lawyer in Dallas. He passed away in 2000. But one of his daughters is 61 years old. Well, 2 weeks ago today, she was diagnosed with COVID-19. They told her, they said, all you do is sit at home and drink Gatorade and try to stay warm, try to break the fever. Well, and don't take Tylenol or anything like that because that makes it worse. But she was home and she started getting worse. And started getting worse. Then her oxygen levels started going down. Then finally she couldn't breathe. She called her sister, another first cousin of mine, said, come take me to the hospital. Well, she said, I can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. But she called an ambulance. Ambulance takes her to the hospital on Friday a week ago. But she goes in, they immediately put her on a ventilator.
Oh,
and
man.
they called the sister and told her she's got maybe a 1 in 10 chance of living. She's going to die. Well, she goes into a coma, okay? And they give her this malaria drug with the Z-Pack. And she starts getting better. Well, she gets off the ventilator, comes out of her coma, then they put her on oxygen, and last Thursday, so she'd been in almost a week in the hospital. Last Thursday, they released her. She went home. She's got no fever. She's been completely cured.
They're wonderful. Bryce, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been hearing
Now
and
they
following
took
this
her blood.
controversy about this drug, and
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
listen to this,
I'm kind of with Trump. I mean, it's been proven.
I would take a chance, would you? Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't use it.
All right, well, listen to this. It gets better. All right, she's been cured of the drug. Well, they take blood from her,
Yeah.
her plasma, and by doing that, they can make 3 plasma solutions to give 3 other people that have it, and they're using that on people now, and they say that's making people better.
Yeah, that is great. You know, how many times have you called your drugstore guy up and said, I want to get a, what do you call them? I've got the crud.
Z-Pack.
Z-Pack. I want a Z-Pack. How many times that Z-Pack, or my doctor that would subscribe it and send it in, but I've been on the Z-Pack many times, and
Oh, yeah.
isn't it amazing? I've heard that there's some other drugs that they're having success with too.
They're trying everything.
The key, if we can make it to over this hump, and level out, if we can start developing, some kind of vaccine, that's going to be the key that's going to be the key to our livelihood forever, is to come up with a vaccine here. But
I'm saying this is COVID-19. Some people say, well, what about COVID-20? What about COVID-21? So there'll be other pandemics that hit the world. There's no doubt about it.
Rice, of course, went through.
They're gonna close down all these markets with all this exotic food and stuff like that in China. Though, I mean, all this stuff comes from, they said this came from a bat. I mean, stuff like that's got to be shut down. I mean, it's illegal. I mean, it can't be open.
Well, this place, the places over there where they sell dogs and cats and whatever,
Yeah, I mean, it's all kinds of stuff like that. It's just.
And they've a lot of people have tried to get them internationally, have tried to get them to stop doing that, and of course, China's a big place, no question about it.
You're one of the few people I know that actually have been to China in the last 4 years. You were there for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, and really had a good trip. Really did, enjoyed it. That's been a long time ago. What do we got to do, Will, or Rice? What do we got to do?
Well, I think we're committed to a path, and so let's stay on the path and cross our fingers. There's no going back now. There's not all of a sudden going to get the all clear, and more people are getting serious about this self-isolation. So I would say in about 2 weeks we'll know a lot more. Don't y'all think?
Yeah, and then finally, if they can get a hold on the coordination of supplies, I know, they're doing a little bit better job of getting the supplies to different people. Give the supplies to the people that need it. Not the people that want it, but the people that need it.
Yeah, they've got tons of supplies, and that really there's only a small number of hot spots or clusters most communities have very few cases. Most hospitals are not overrun. Most hospitals are probably much emptier than they normally are because they're not doing regular medical procedures like colonoscopies anymore. And so that allows you to, instead of giving all the important supplies to the hospitals that aren't having an attack, give them to New York and New Jersey and Detroit and Atlanta and New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm wondering about how bad is. It looks like New Orleans is one of the bad spots in the country. Hopefully they can get what they need. Dallas, is Dallas pretty bad now, Will, or do you know?
I don't think so. I think New Orleans and well, of course, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, up in there is terrible. But New Orleans is probably the worst right now as far as the death rate goes per capita. Alabama's terrible as far as the death rate goes.
I was looking at Alabama here. Alabama has 45 deaths now to report. At least,
the mayor talked about this earlier. Is other medical conditions you have put you at much greater risk, and the concern is that in the South, with our high incidence of diabetes, that we could be having worse death rates.
That's
primarily
right.
Because of the epidemic of diabetes and obesity, is what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly right. And of course, I would say now, Will, you're a world traveler, but some of my favorite world travelers as far as dining, when I was a local attorney here in Troy, that's a very good friend of mine, and he says there's no question in his mind that when it comes to great food, you take New Orleans over San Francisco or San Francisco over New Orleans. He said that's where the great restaurants are. Do you agree?
Well, the number one restaurant in the world is Commander's Palace in New Orleans.
Is it really?
Yes, they've been
I've eaten there 3 times.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a great place to eat.
I've had the turtle soup. The turtle soup's pretty good.
Well, let me tell you this. Wolfgang Puck has a restaurant in China that's good that I've eaten at. It was really good.
Yeah. There's some really good restaurants in Vegas, too.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you're enjoying our show. We're going to take a short break, and I want all you guys to hold on. We'll be right back. You guys this morning, what rice? Is it coming through pretty good?
Checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Discounts, big selection, and really big deals. It's the big pre-owned sale. Only at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Pre-owned vehicles start at $29.95. Over 50 vehicles under $15,000. $29 down, and you can drive today or take advantage of payments starting at $99 a month. That's $29 down, and payments starting as low as $99. From Montgomery to Dothan, the best pre-owned deal are at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or online at PremierChrysler.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Yeah, it's over again, yeah.
It's over again.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know if you got to wear it in your house, but when you go outside, you need to wear your mask, because that's what the law says do now. Is that right, Will? Or do you have to
get arrested if you're not wearing a mask?
But what I'm saying, the President of the United States says he wasn't going to wear one, but a lot of people will be wearing a mask. If you don't have one, I don't know where you could get one. Do you know?
You can make one.
All right, you can on the computer or what?
Yeah, there's all kinds of people on the computer showing you how to make a mask.
All right, well that's good. That's good. But we wanted to.
You know, I thought that we talk about Fanucci, the 79-year-old expert. The other expert is that lady, Hips, I think's her name.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I read a headline yesterday that says she thinks that people shouldn't even be going to the grocery store.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. I went to the grocery store
That
yesterday.
would be I am going. The only place I go is Piggly Wiggly, and they told me I couldn't go to Piggly Wiggly, or they might assign you certain times, like you can go one day a week at a certain time. That's what they've done in Italy.
All right, well, we're showing there, Sam, but let's make sure we know what we're talking about there now, being about Piggly Wiggly. Is Piggly Wiggly open? Are they going to number the people that are in there?
That hasn't come yet. I'm just saying that's being talked about.
Okay.
So that might be something. That might be a measure in the future
Exactly
that
right.
we see.
Ladies and gentlemen, of course,
The British Prime Minister got he's in the hospital now with the coronavirus.
and of course, the Queen, is she okay?
Yeah, the Queen's fine. Prince Charles had the coronavirus.
Okay, that's right. And it'll be more.
Big news in college basketball circles. The great Mountain Brook coach, Bucky McMillan, is now the head coach at Division I Stanford.
They hired Bucky McMillan. Will, what do you think about that? Will, are you on? All right, we lost Will. Rice, are you on?
Yeah, I saw that too, Michael. You know, that's a great catch for Sanford, I would think. I mean, this guy has been spectacular at Mountain Brook, and we now know that coaches can go from high school to college and be successful. So
yeah, I mean, all my friends that used to go to Mountain Brook games, said that that he's a guy that was going to get a head coaching job in college, and it was just a matter of time. He's only 36 years old. Of course, he played for Dwayne Rebo, a legendary coach at Birmingham Southern, and
good coach,
won 5 state championships at 7A Mountain Brook, which is unheard of. Of course, a lot of people will say that he won it bringing in players from other schools. Of course, he definitely did that with all his teams, but he's a guy who likes to play 40 minutes of hell like Noah Richardson.
Yeah.
And
that's that's full court press everywhere.
I think he will definitely be successful as a college coach. And I was telling Will the other day, he's not on the line anymore, but I think you'll see him in the SEC in 10 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it too. Well, Bill, you can either call in or stay on this phone right here, Bill Rice. Let's talk about the mask. If you go outside, you need to wear a mask. Let's say that. I think that you need to do that. And then, of course, you need to stay home and not like some people say, like one lady didn't even say go to the grocery store. But if you're going to go to the grocery store, get what you need for a couple of weeks and then go home and stay there. Like your golf, like his golf, that one man in one golf cart. I've heard of people doing it, and they might be doing it locally here in Troy. But I would say, ladies and gentlemen, this is really, really serious business. Go ahead and stop doing everything that you've been doing and go and stay in your home. Now, let's see here, coming in here from right here, a second, Mike. Let me put you on hold here. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, I just went.
Oh, good, Bryce. Good. That's good. Let me bring Mike in. We'll have it. All right, got both of you.
All right.
Got Bill Rice. Bill, of course, another thing, they don't want you gathering with any other any number of people. Is it 6 or 9 that you considered a crowd?
Oh, that's new news to me. I thought it was still 10, but it might have been reduced to...
I've never heard of it. I've always heard of it being 9. What do you heard, Mike?
10 is what I'd heard.
All right, well, 10, or 10 or less. You can't have a gathering more than that. And now I don't. They're saying, get with your family and stay indoors. As much as you can.
Yeah, but people have got to get out and get gas. People have got to go to the pharmacy. People have got to go to the grocery.
Yeah, but this time though is getting to be a little bit more serious than the other times. This is the most serious time that we've had right here during this week here, and hopefully we can get through here.
You go down here and you see all these construction crews and people building houses and people doing projects in their yard, and I mean it's still very active down here on 38 and Grayton where I live. I mean I see 300 people on bikes a day.
I know. You know what they do? They ought to put them in jail. They ought to put them in jail, Mike.
They say one of the best things to do though is to get out in the sun.
Yeah, but they don't need to be out in this kind of condition. You know, that's what bothers me.
Well, the only thing the issue is down here is the paddle boards have gone crazy. Everybody's on the paddle boards out in the lakes down here, so you still have a lot of people just active. You know,
you know what these people are doing? They're spreading the virus. What they're doing.
Yeah, you do have a lot of spring breakers.
Yeah, we did good. Okay.
A lot of Georgia people are in town right now.
Yeah. Well, so they're not going out on the beaches, though, are they?
No, the beaches are closed. That's what I'm saying. They're having to like ride bikes and paddleboard and do other stuff other than being out on the beach and out in the Gulf of Mexico.
Are you seeing them walking side by? Are you seeing them walking side by side, or are they walking?
They're side by side. I mean, these are families, you know.
I don't care, but still, it's not good. It's not good. They need to give some distance.
Like, I mean, I was supposed to have a huge birthday party tonight. I was supposed to have, a big band out in the yard.
I know it, but you're not going to, though.
Yeah, I can't do it now. I'm just going to pick up from my favorite Italian restaurant.
Well, I tell you what, this has affected everybody and every way of life, and it's serious business, and we hope that that this show makes you realize how serious this is. And of course, the key is this. If you're Bill Rice, let's just say this. Let's say that you're at home and you've got you feel sort of weak, and you feel like
you might have symptoms.
Might have some symptoms. One of the main symptoms, of course, is being able to breathe. If you're having a hard time breathing, you need to get to the hospital as soon as you can. But of course, it all starts though with several other things that are very common. One of them's a cough and fever. Fever is very important. Fever and then shortness of breath. If you've got those, you need to go to.
Well, they actually want you to call your personal doctor, and then it's your doctor that is supposed to tell you whether to go to the hospital or not. They don't want the hospital overrun, I guess.
Well, the most important phone call you can make right here is the hotline, the Troy Regional Medical Center hotline, and that number is 670-5409, 670-5409, especially if you got a cough or a fever, or then, of course, especially shortness of breath. And, I would think once you start getting that shortness of breath, you need to get on and get some help and get to an emergency room or to the hospital or whatever. But the number to call if you have any of these symptoms is 670-5409. This is the Troy Regional Medical Center hotline, and they have operators listening and waiting for you 24 hours a day, I want to say. And hopefully we can get that.
Well, I can give you a Jack update. My son has been tested. My 4-year-old son, last Monday at Charles Simpson Child Health Center, he went in after having 3 or 4 days of those symptoms. And we still haven't heard back the test results a week later.
If I was you, I'd be calling them. Is he still having some of those problems?
He seems fine to me. I think he's getting better every day. He very strange. He seems like a normal kid playing, acting like the normal Jack, but then late in the afternoon he gets real tired and his cough comes on, and he gets a fever at night primarily. But in the last couple of days he looks better. I've added it up. If he has it, he's had it now for 11 days. This would be 11 days. So that means that this is 11 days that everyone else in this small house could have gotten it, but the other 3 people in this house haven't shown any symptoms yet. So that makes me think that maybe he doesn't have it. But
well, I'll tell you what. I'd go see about it. I sure would.
Chris Como, the CNN anchor that has it, that's what he says. It's really bad at night.
And then
the coronavirus.
excessive coughing is one of the things you got to look for, and of course the fever.
Tom Dempsey just passed away from the coronavirus. Tom Dempsey is known for kicking the 63-yard field goal.
Oh yeah, the guy with the club foot.
Yeah, I looked at that, and yeah, he had dementia, and he was in a nursing home, and this, it just spreads like lightning through these nursing homes, and he was in one of those nursing homes.
He had the record for a long time. I don't know if he still holds it. 63-yard field goal. I've never seen it.
Jason Elam, the Denver Broncos kicker, I think.
And he kicked it straight style too. He always kicked the old straight style, whatever. Let me say something, guys. Rice, you need to get that little old boy back and double check with him, man, on that. And
I would call and ask why it's taking a week. That definitely seems strange.
Call that 670. Have you ever called it, Rice? Have you ever called that number?
Not yet. We're just counting on this.
All right, look, this is an information number. This is an information number, Rice.
Okay.
Call 670-5409. 670-5409. Call and they can answer any of these questions that you've got, and they'll advise you on what to do. And that goes for you out there, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're listening or wherever you're watching. 670-5409. Call and get that information that you need. It might save your life, and so you need to really be careful.
Well,
of course,
I can see, they've got everybody that's got any symptoms is getting tested. And so you just know the people that read the tests, the labs, are being overrun. I thought it was going to be 4 or 5 days.
But you should have heard from them by now. Hopefully, that's a good sign that nothing was wrong. But if I tell you this, if my child had fever and had a bad cough, I'd see about it. I really would. And, of course, happy birthday to Mike and Camille today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Michael and Camille. 44 years, is that right?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
I hope the good Lord gives me another 44 years.
You're right. And ladies and gentlemen, hey, keep God on your mind all the time. He's going to make the decisions on what happens to you and your family. But pray to the Lord, read your Bible, and develop a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ today. I was reading into Romans and Ephesians, and just excellent reading in my Bible, and I really learned a lot during this time. It's a great time to read your Bible and be closer to God and your family. Get indoors, do what the professionals tell you to do. Hey, don't go outside unless you've got to. Don't go outside your yard. And Rice, I appreciate you joining us this morning. And we didn't talk about the economy as something that we might want to look at tomorrow on our show.
Well, our hearts go out to everybody that's going through tough times, worrying about their income and paying their notes and paying their utility bills. I think help's coming in the form of this stimulus check in the next week or so, but they'll probably need another one of those in about a month, I would guess.
We're going to try to get Mayor Jason Reeves on our show tomorrow, and it was my fault. I couldn't get up with him, but I will get up with him, and hopefully he'll be on our show tomorrow, either in person or by phone. Hope you've enjoyed our show, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I'm putting the mask on is for you to get one if you don't have it, and wear that mask every time you go outside. Put that mask on. It could be a matter of life and death. It's that serious, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure to get you something to put over your mouth and your nose when you're outside. And again, we love you very much and hope that this show has been informative for you. On behalf of the staff and manager of Troy Cablevision, Dick Freeman and all the great folks here at Troy Cable provided this service for you. I know this, the TV watching has been good, and we appreciate Troy Cable. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.